Hey, Shalom Marcus, Rakam Makapash from Jim and Sudden, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem B'chach Hadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the whole for that's pushing its truth and all sincerity. Back again with another video. Got this article here from Zero Hedge, and another one, come follow it, right? Yeah, we're coming closer to the time where, the mark of the beast is going to be present in society, right? And it has all to do with these digital currencies that are going to be rolled out real soon and or have been in places already. All right, and yeah, it's all gonna work together in creating this system, this new digital system, um, which is going to replace this old one. Okay, but this new one has greater control over your finances and what you can and can't do with your with your money, if you can even call it that anymore. And we got here from in Nigeria, right? It says Nigeria limits ATM withdrawals to $45 per day to force government-controlled digital payments. Right? And the point I'm making in this video is that, yeah, this is in Nigeria, and the other article I got is from Iran, right? These things can happen anywhere in the world, and they will. Right? When this new system is fully established, right, you're gonna find that things are more restrictive. Right? Things are more restricted than they ever used to be, right? With this digital currency, because they have the banks and these elites, they have greater control over your money, or over what you can spend, what you can withdraw, what items you can and can't buy, right? And this is going to happen globally. This is going to be a thing that's going to be rolled out throughout the world, right? And like I said, these things are coming into play right now. All right, so I'm gonna read a little bit of this. I'm not even sure. Okay, it's not even a long one. Okay, that's cool. All right, it says a staggering number of Nigerians love Bitcoin, but hate government cryptocurrency CBDCs. In April, leading cryptocurrency exchange KuCoin noted that 35% of the adult population in Nigeria, roughly 34 million adults, aged 18 to 16, own Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. But when it came to the country's central bank digital currency, the e-Naira, it was a massive failure. According to Bloomberg, only 1 in 200 Nigerians used the e-Naira, despite government implemented discounts and other incentives implemented as desperate measures to increase adoption, right? So they're trying to sell it, right? Now, government is looking to boost digital payments by limiting ATM withdrawals to just 20,000 Naira, or roughly $45 per day, right? Citing a circular sent to lenders on Tuesday, the previous withdrawal limit was 150,000 Naira. Weekly cash withdrawals from banks are now limited or without fee to 1,000 Naira, for individuals 5,000 Naira, for corporations any amount above this will occur 5% or 10% respectively, like a fee, right? The action is the latest in a string of central bank orders aimed at limiting the use of cash. And that is something we're all experiencing, man. Now, there's nothing officially put in place necessarily, but what we do know is the ATM machines, for instance, here in the UK, they're being taken out of service. There's less and less of them, less accessible. More online banking, less banks, less in stores, walk-in stores, right? More digital payments. The increase in the limit of digital payments, when it first came out, I think it was like £20, and now I think you can spend up to £100 on it or something like that. Okay, they put that in during the pandemic. Yeah, so they're pushing everybody into this digital system. This is what they're doing, right? And this is what they're doing here in Nigeria. Okay, they're taking away cash and pushing you towards this digital system, and that's exactly what they're doing everywhere else, man, in the different ways. Okay. Where was I? Anyway, the action is the latest in the string of central bank orders aimed at limiting the use of cash and expand digital currencies to help improve access to banking. Okay, everyone's talking about digital currencies now, right? CBDCs, right? Central bank centralized currency, digital currency rather. Yeah. In Nigeria's largely informal economy, cash outside banks represent 85% of the currency in circulation, and almost 40 million adults are with a bank account. And there's another thing they keep pushing, banking the unbanked. Okay, with this digital platform, they can do all of that, with the verification and all this type of business. So the central bank last month announced plans to issue redesigned high-value notes from mid-December to mop up excess cash, and it's given residents until the end of January to turn in their old notes. The bank also plans to mint more of the e-Naira digital currency, which was launched last year but has faced slow adoption. What's more, new rules will take effect on January 9th. Will ban the cashing of checks above 50,000 naira. Yeah, checks is a kind of a dead thing here. I think you still do checks, but they're not commonplace anymore to write checks. Anyway, over the counter and 10 million naira through the banking assistance. Point of sale cash withdrawals have been capped at 20,000 naira. Meanwhile, banks are only allowed to load their ATMs with 200 naira denominations under, while individual and corporation will be allowed to cash a maximum of 5 million and 10 million naira respectively. If there are compelling circumstances not exceeding once a month, and which will be subject to enhanced due diligence, along with process fees according to the central bank. Such withdrawals will also require the approval of bank CEO. They're making it harder for you to manage cash, get cash, move cash around. Okay, but they want to make it more easier or for you to move on to the digital because it's easier, right? Customers should be encouraged to use alternative channels, internet banking, okay, online banking, right? Mobile banking apps, USSD, cards, POS, e-Naira to conduct their banking transactions. So that's what they're pushing. They're trying to push you out of cash into the this digital system. Okay. So that's that article from Nigeria, right? Oops. And this is from Iran. Okay. Headline Hunter Global. And it says Iran set to freeze bank accounts, right, of women who refuse to wear a hijab, right? Sounds a bit comical, right? But the fact is that all these countries, all these banks, these elites can do this. They can freeze your accounts easy for you not doing something in particular. Here's, it's because of hijabs, man, but, it could be a number of different things why they might decide to freeze your bank account. It could be what seems like stupid things. But guess what? You don't pay your rent. Or guess what? You're gonna freeze your account. You don't your carbon footprint is too high. We're gonna freeze your account. You use too much electricity and drive a car and whatever, man. Any reason that they have or want to make, they can do this, right? So it's a thing of control. The elites are increasing their control over the system, right? And this is why the mark of the beast is going to be implemented, man, because you can't get out of the system. You can't get out of the system. You can't do anything outside the system because the chip is always with you, man. But these are the type of things that are going to go on. These are the type of things that are going to be going on. Let me get this from James chapter 2 verse 6. It says, but ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you? Right? This is the elites oppressing or further oppressing the people, man, by restricting you, restricting your movements, restricting your finances. Okay, it's about more control. Okay, you will own nothing. Okay, WF, man, you will own nothing. Okay, you will be at the mercy of the elites. Right, they will tell you what you can and can't do, what you can and can't have, where you can and can't go. They're exacting further control over the people. Right, this is rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seats, man. They're hanging over your life right now, man, making decisions for you. All right. It's Revelation 13 and 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay, ultimately, it's going to lead up to this. You're going to be integrated into this digital system. So not only are they causing you to adopt these digital systems, which you got access to through your phone, the internet, and whatever, they're going to integrate you into that system, right? So you're going to be completely integrated, and there's nothing outside that system now. That whole cash gone. You can't use something that's outside the system. You have to use this method to be able to buy and sell, to exchange value, to make transactions. And everything's recorded on this this chip, on these implantables, which people already got, by the way. Because there's people on the earth right now walking around with implants in their hands, making payments, acting as travel cards, as passcodes, and for different things, open doors, access to printer, whatever, open cars. They have these things already out there in the earth, right? But these are technologies that they're looking to increase, right? And like I said, it's just gonna monitor and control everything everybody does. So when a situation like that comes up, you ain't doing something that you're supposed to do, or you're doing something they don't like, they just freeze the chip. Yeah, now you can't do nothing with that. Or you get denied access to certain things. All you gotta do is take a look at the that China social credit system. You get denied things, and that's how it's gonna work. And there's no way to avoid it, because it's always attached to you. Always verifying you all the damn fucking time. This is definitely this person. you know, Getting scanned all the damn time. So there's no way to avoid it. So their control has been increased now. It's verse 17, that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Right? So that's all part of prophecy. That's where it's leading to. Okay, so without this MOTB, you can't buy or sell anything. So when they've taken away all the other avenues of purchasing, the cash, because we got a digital system, we can pay digital online and that kind of stuff, but we still use cash and stuff. There's still other ways to buy things, checks and whatever. They're still taking them. There's different ways to do it, but once all that's gone and they're just running through this digital system now, because that's what they want everyone to use, right? And you get hooked up with the CHIP, there ain't no other way. Everything's gonna be run on that blockchain. Everything's gonna be recorded and verified all the damn time. So, you can't just take out them them £2 coins you've been saving, in your jar for however long. You can't just go out there and use them. It can't. It's not part of the system no more. You can't register that. So it's invalid. Nothing more than a collector's item now. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48, and this is part of the curses that will come upon our people. But guess what? Everyone else is gonna be in the same situation. Well, we'll be in the same situation eventually, right? So therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in the want of all things. Once that CHIP is in you, man, and that system's changed over, yeah, you're hand and foot. You're begging, right? You're being allowed things. Okay, these things that certain things that people take for granted, isn't it? But these governments, they give us things, man. You think they're rights? Some things are rights, but some things are not. Right, but you're literally looking to them for everything, man, because they're going to be controlling everything that you consume, or what you can consume. So yeah, this is a curse that's really placed upon our people as of now. Just right this now, going through slavery and whatever, being in captivity. But Esau wants to enslave everybody. That's how mad he is. He wants to enslave everybody, man, thinking that he's gonna have and rule in an everlasting kingdom. right? Which just ain't gonna happen, right? It says in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in the want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until you have destroyed thee. Okay, this new yoke of iron that he's putting is really the C-hip, you know, the MOTB. Okay, that's that new yoke of iron. Because what does the yoke of iron do? It restricts your movements, right? Okay, them chains and you know them fucking, well, yeah, yokes right around the neck and head and all that kind of stuff. They restrict your movement. Esau restricting your movement right now, man. He's forcing you down avenues and constricting you. Like a boa constrictor, man, getting tighter and tighter. Or anaconda or whatever, right? Getting tighter and tighter, man, until he choked the life out of everybody. Okay, that's what he's doing to the system right now. All right. And again, let's make this comparison here in Genesis 47, okay, during the famines of Egypt. Okay, while Joseph was number 2 in Egypt, right? These people got so desperate because of the crisis that they were facing, man. They willingly gave themselves up to this, to the situation. And it's like this today, that's what these people want to do now. Although these people don't necessarily want it, I mean, some, majority of people do want this new digital system, right? They like the idea of this progression, because they think it's cool, but there's people out here that don't like it, that are elderly, because they can't, they're not up to date with technology and whatever. Some people that can just see, what this devil's doing and, how he plans to use this technology. But the majority of people, they'll be like, yeah, this is a good idea. So when the time comes and decisions have got to be made, they'll be happy to jump on, because, what's the word I'm looking for? But if they didn't do that, the situation would be worse. Okay, for lack of better words, right? But anyways, this example of Genesis 47 verse 18 says, so when that year was ended, they came unto him the second year and said unto him, we will not hide it from my Lord, how that our money is spent. Well, Esau going to do away with your money, man. So he's talking about how with the CBDCs that he's going to convert, well, let's say most people's money 1 for 1, right? So you got £1 or $1 or whatever in your bank account right now. It can be exchanged for a digital dollar or pound of equal value, right? But we know that that's up to him. He can decide whether or not he wants to do that or he's gonna do that or not. So you might find some people losing money out here, but we'll see, right? We'll see what happens with that, So yeah, your money's gonna be gone anyway. Ain't gonna be worth nothing. Inflation's gonna be kicking the shit out of it, so it ain't gonna be worth nothing anyway. So it's spent, it's gone. Okay, you can't buy nothing with it anyway. Says, I will not hide it from my Lord that how our money is spent. My Lord also have our herds of cattle, all your possessions, you own nothing, right? So whatever you do own, it's not yours anymore anyway. There is aught left in the sight of my Lord but our bodies and our lands. Okay, yourselves, right? Wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, and give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate. Because they're creating a whole food crisis right now, doing some crazy maneuvers out here that is, making the food crisis that we have worse. They're banning farmers from planting, using fertilizers and all that kind of stuff, because they want to help save the planet or whatever excuse they're using. So they're banning farmers around, certain places, certain countries, and that. There's all these problems. There's all these problems, man, and yet they're gonna further exacerbate them. So if a famine is coming, we all know this. Those of us that know the scriptures, right? So this famine is gonna force these people to accept this MOTB and to be a part of this system. But guess what? The system, like I said, means that they now have a greater span of control over you. All right, and they can determine whatever they want to determine for you. And there ain't no way around it. Ain't no way to fight that. Okay, you have a system that is covering all those bases, man. You got AI running the shit, right? You can't go anywhere without the AI knowing. All these smart lampposts that just talking to each other, smart cars talking to each other, talking about you. Everything's talking about you. Cars and lampposts, pavement, you know, everything, man. Just talking to you. Talking, you know, going back and forth between your chip and you know the receivers and everything else. Right? There's no way out of that system. All right. So that's that great control that he's gonna be able to exert over you. Because obviously, you know, you people are gonna want to eat. And if Esau's got control of the food, because obviously he's made it to be in small supply, right? But there's still high demand, right? So he's gonna take control of that, and you're gonna have to go to him for the want of all things, literally, and go and get your food from him. You know, that's how he's gonna play it, and that's what these majority of these people are gonna do, and give themselves up, man. Take the MOTB because you know they ain't seen nothing wrong with it anyway. Okay, they want to eat, just like you know, a couple of camps out there, a few camps out there that you know got that mindset. You know, but that's what it is. All right, it says verse 20. Verse 20. And Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold every man his field because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh's. All right. As for the people, he removed them to cities from one end to the border. Esau can even relocate you. You know, he can relocate you, man. You know, or trap you or keep you in a place. Because even these cities here in the UK, some of these cities are being divided up right now, and tariffs or charges are being implemented if you want to go into the next, I don't know, sector, right? You're gonna put it like that. The next sector in your city, you have to pay, or you know, you can't drive. They're not allowing you to drive. They're trying to cut down the driving, right? But you can't drive into the next sector without paying. You have to go around it. You know, locking you in essentially. You know, if you want to drive, you have to pay for it. They're making you fucking pay. You know, all this type of stuff Esau's doing right now. Okay, it's greater control. And like I said, you got the C hip, man. You ain't going nowhere without no one knowing, man. Yeah, especially with all the cameras and everything. You ain't going nowhere. A man should desire to go into a city and should not be able, man. You ain't going nowhere, man. All right, because Esau is consolidating control. Everything he's doing is for that purpose. You know, so he can feel like the Most High. Because only the Most High has the ultimate control of what's going on in the world. Okay, Esau, he wants to get that same sort of control, but you know everything's inferior to what he does. But you know, it doesn't stop him from trying. But anyway, that's that, man. Like I said, you know, it's gonna happen. Can happen anywhere. It's gonna be happening elsewhere in different countries. You know, these are just some of the places going on right now. You know, but it can happen anywhere, and it will. All right, so you know, with that, I'm gonna say shalom, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters in the next video, man. So next time I say shalom.